Okay, first question that I looked up right now is, can I shoot the coping as well around the pool? The answer is yes, you can shoot the coping. It's just like brick. You can shoot brick, concrete, anything that's really hard, stone, rock, stuff like that. But grout's hard, but sometimes it's soft grout. So if it's hard, you can blast it, but sometimes it's soft and it'll just eat it out, so you can't. The only way to know is to do it, and you'll see, you'll find out. Um, Next question was, at what pressure do I blast the tile at? So if you're blasting tile, all right, how do I say this? If you're blasting tile, every tile is a little bit different. There's like soft tile, hard tile, and like medium tile, but sometimes it's like, almost to the soft and almost to the hard. It's a spectrum of hard and soft tile. So, it's hard to tell. Sometimes, I can go to a pool and be like, that's hard tile, that's soft tile, be careful with that, and blast away. So the pressure that you're going to get out of your compressor, if you have a 180 max compressor, 19 SCFMs, which is the flow of the compressor, what I normally see is I get roughly 40 PSI from where at the end of the hopper. So, some people are confused because, like, if you go look on the gauge on the compressor, it says 180 PSI. You go and look at the pressure at the hopper, it might say 50, 45. But I actually never measured it, but actually we do measure it. Okay. Some people get confused about the pressure. So, the pressure where I look is the pressure gauge on the hopper. It will say 40 to 50 PSI. So, yeah. But doing this for a while, you kind of don't really look at the pressure on the hopper. You can, but it doesn't really help. What really helps is when you have the glass bead and it's coming out of the gun, and honestly, I could just hear it. Like, you can, and I can hear the pressure. But you can also put your hand right there, and you can feel the pressure. Like, oh, that's some good pressure. And another way to know the pressure is by how much, if you're holding the gun, how much is it pushing it back? If it's like super pushing it back, you'll just learn all these things. But the easiest way to find out if you have the right pressure to blast the tile is this. Start the hopper, put it in, you'll have 40 to 50 PSI. Turn up your feeding the bead. You'll get bead coming out, okay? And this is kind of fine too. You want to know how much bead is coming out, which is you don't want too little and you don't want too much. If you have too much, it won't do anything. The pressure turns down. You can't blast the calcium off. It's too weak because like it's hard to complicate. I mean, if you know science, it's pretty. I can explain it, but if you have too much bead, you're not going to be able to blast it. You're not going to be able to come off. If you have too little bead, you are at risk to burn the tile. So you need a little bit more bead than a little bit so that you can get it. It's like a fine line. It's really hard. You can kind of tell once you're blasting it how much is coming off at what time and if it's burning. But the easiest way is once you get it going, you get the right amount that you think is good. You can start from a distance from the tile, start blasting it, and go in. Start going in, and it'll start removing the calcium. But then there'll be a point where you get too close where you'll see the tile and it'll start turning colors or turning white. Then okay, that is too close. Let me back it up a little bit. So that's how I gauge. You back it up a little bit. And then your first thought is, well, I don't want to go and burn the tile. So the thing is that when you're going slow, you go really slow. And if you're looking straight at it, you'll see like just a tiny spot like turn white. You know what I mean? And that's when you know it's gonna burn. But you can't really notice it at all. The only tile that you really do notice it on is like a flat blue tile. You'll notice that if it's a little white line. But if it has colors in it and it looks weird, you're not really gonna notice. the best way is try it on a tile that the homeowner has that's extra. If they don't have that, I would try somewhere in the skimmer, because nobody's gonna see that. So try that in the skimmer. It's gonna suck because the angle is gonna get on your eyes, the bead. And if you don't have a skimmer or you don't want to do that, I would try when you're at the house and you walk to the pool, the tile that's right below you. Try that, so nobody's gonna see it. Really, you don't want to do the tile that you first see when you walk to the pool, because that's gonna be really bad. So that's kind of like how much pressure I use. So I would say 40 psi, but also just start blasting the calcium from a distance. Because if you go over here and you're blasting like that, you're not even going to feel any pressure. And then it's going to start getting closer. You're going to start feeling more. So, you could do that. Then the pressures change when you blast it. So how do you say this? Okay, so you might have a tile that has a thin layer of calcium. When you go to blast it, and you're holding it maybe, I don't know, 7 inches away, it'll start spraying all of it off, and it comes out perfectly. But then you might get to the grout line, and you're at the same distance, and it's not doing anything. Then you would probably have to go a little bit closer. But you have to keep an eye out if you're going to burn the tile. So it's like a fine line. Like, you have to go closer, which is going to put more pressure on the tile. But it's hard to explain. Let me give my bearings here. But I think honestly too, if you're going to go really close, you might burn the tile. You're going to want to go fast around it, or go in circles. You don't ever want to just sit in one spot, because it really messes it up. Man, now thinking about it, it's really hard to explain this stuff. You kind of got to just learn it through trial and error and actually doing it. So grout lines are going to be harder. You're going to need more pressure. I mean, you're going to go closer to get it, but you're at a high risk of burning it. So, and also too, when you hit a grout line, right, you're right here. Okay, right here, you're blasting the grout line. You might have to go left, right to hit, the inside of the grout line. Sometimes you just hit it evenly. It's really complicated. It's hard to explain it, but yeah. All right, cool. That's enough about pressures. About 40 psi. Start from a distance, go closer. See, you'll start seeing how it takes it away, so you'll find your right rhythm. Okay. Funny story. One time I had a new guy, and I would say probably 6 inches is about like where you blast. Maybe right here, like somewhere right here. Okay, somewhere right there. But this guy, I think he thought he was like 18. I think he thought the closer you are, it would just work perfectly, because there's a spectrum of everything. It's so weird. It's like a graph. Okay, from right here is good. You go closer, a little bit more pressure. But then if you get super close, it's not effective. You have a lot of pressure on it, but it's not doing it right. And that's kind of what he did. Is he just went like an half an inch close, and he thought that was really getting it off quick, but it wasn't. It was making it like twice as fast. And I'm just over here like looking like, well, hey, I was like, hey, move it away. He would move it away, and within 1 minute, he'd be right back to it. So, funny story. But, well, I guess that's only one question that I answered about pressures. I hope that helped. Video's 8 minutes. Can't believe I was talking for 8 minutes. But I'm Roger with Rocks and Pool Tile Cleaning. It's just me. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any more questions, drop the questions down. I hope to give you guys more videos in the future. I'll be working on my next one. All right, bye.